In triangle ABC, the measure of angle ABC equals 70, A of B is similar to BC, and points D and E are the midpoints of sides AB and BC respectively. What is the sum of the degree measures of angles ADE and DEC? Okay, so this one might look a little scary, but it's not too bad. So what we have here, since AB is the same as BC, we have an isosceles triangle, right? So then that means these angles right here, these two, are the same, and these two are the same. I'll mark those a little different, okay? Because this triangle is similar to that triangle. Well, all right, what can we do here? Well, it's good to just start labeling angles here. So first we can figure out what D and E are. So a triangle is 180 degrees. 180 minus 70 equals 110. And if these are both the same, what's 110 divided by 2? That would be 55 degrees. Okay. So we got 55 and 55. So, okay. Now this angle plus this angle will give us what? 180. So, what's 180 minus 55? That would equal 125. So that means this angle is 125. This angle is 125. Oh, and by the way, these angles will also be 55 as well. But that's not what they were asking, were they? What were they asking? Let me check again real quick. Oh, okay. Yeah, they were asking for the trickiest of all the angles. They wanted to know this one and this one. And just to make it needlessly complicated, it wants to know the sum of them. So you just have to add these two together. What's 125 plus 125? We can do that in our heads, right? 250. There you go. In the figure, line segment GH is perpendicular to line segment FH. If points F and G are equidistant from point H, what is the approximate distance from point F to point G? So, okay, they didn't put these the markers on their graph, but I went ahead and did that because I wanted to see the distance of GH here. And so we have 8, 2, and 8, negative 4. So how long would that be? Well, that would be 6 units, right? And so this would also be 6 units, since they're the same distance away. And if we went ahead and drew the triangle here, that's going to be an isosceles triangle, right? An isosceles right triangle. So there's a couple different ways we could do this. We could either use some trig, like SOHCAHTOA, or we could just use the Pythagorean Theorem, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So we'd have 36 plus 36 equals x squared. 72 equals x squared. Square root both sides. And the square root of 72 comes out to 8.49. So almost 8.5. Now, since this is an isosceles triangle, like I said, we could also use some other properties. We could, since this is 90, and we know these two angles are the same, what are each of those angles? Well, a triangle adds up to 180, right? So if that's 90, these also add up to 90, and they're the same, so that means they're both 45. So we have a 45, 45, 90, right, isosceles triangle, which, if you remember, we can convert it into that. So that would be 6, 6, yeah, 6 radical 2. So whichever way, I mean, for a lot of people, the Pythagorean Theorem is always going to be the go-to and the easier one. But the more you do some of these more trig problems, you might recognize right off the bat that it's that, and just do 6 times radical 2, and you'll get the same thing. So it doesn't matter. Whichever way is easier. The graph of 3x minus 5y equals 15 will be perpendicular to which graph? Okay, so the first thing we need to do here is to find the slope of this line. Now, most people are most comfortable finding the slope by putting the equation in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, and we'll do that in a minute. But this is already in a nice format because slope is also the opposite of a over b, where when it's in this form, this is a and this is b. So the opposite of 3 over b, which is negative 5, equals 3/5. Now, just for argument's sake, let's go ahead and put that into slope-intercept form and see if we get the same thing. So we have to get the y all by himself. So let's subtract 3x to both sides and we'll get negative 5y equals negative 3x plus 15. Divide by negative 5. Do that to each term. And you get y equals 3/5 x minus 3. And there you go. Look, we still got m, which means slope, equals 3/5. Same thing, right? So, okay, now what do we do? So we found the slope. Now, this is where you have to remember, if lines are perpendicular to each other, they're going to have the opposite reciprocal slopes. So 3/5. What's the opposite reciprocal of 3/5? That would be negative 5/3. So, okay. And then all you do is look at that list of choices and which one has negative 5/3 as the slope. Well, that would be the first one, A. Oh, come on, everyone. We can't be undefined. We have to divide by 0. So click the subscribe button. We can do this.